All right, you guys, we are live. As always, just like we do every show, let me know if we're looking and sounding good. Welcome to the second round of the 2023 NBA draft, a draft that feels a lot longer for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm not very excited because the Suns only have one pick, which we are going to talk about later. Just going to give you guys a quick little few disclaimers here. Um, if you are looking for like expert draft analysis in this year's class, this is not the show for you. This is just me doing a fun little Q&A live show. I want to talk about some Suns stuff and some NBA, related trades and all that we've gotten in the past like 24, 48 hours or whatever it is. And again, this is just a fun show. And then later we're going to be doing like a Q&A. Like we can talk about whatever. We can talk about the NBA. We can talk about movies, whatever you guys want. And I just figured going live midway through the second round or during the second round would be the smart idea. Because, I mean, we're on pick like 35 right now, and the Suns have the 52nd pick. So I was like, I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to enjoy my night and just have some fun. So that's just a quick disclaimer. Again, if you're just joining the show, I am not a draft expert on this class at all, because the way that James Jones drafts and everything, why should I be? Because he clearly doesn't care. Now, maybe that will change with Matt Ishbia and everybody running the show now, but in the years past, James Jones has even gone on record saying he doesn't like to draft. So I've obviously lost interest, and, again, the Suns' last pick was Jalen Smith, and we also how that worked out. And again, another disclaimer: this is going to be like a Q&A live show. Just a fun show. We can talk about whatever. I'll try to get to as many questions and comments as possible later in the show. Also, you guys know, if you guys watch all these live shows, you guys know I've done a pretty good job of not drinking on the live shows. But the other day when the Bradley Beal report came out, my guy, John, over at the Suns Jam Session podcast, who I think's in the chat right now, was doing some day drinking. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself a little bit, and I'm going to day drink as well. So I day drunk on that show. And you know what? It's the NBA draft. We're celebrating. So I decided to have a beer during this live show, during this live Q&A and everything. But don't worry, I got some water and everything. And again, shout out to my guy, John from the Suns Jam Session podcast. They will be going live later on their channel, and they actually have an expert, Damon Allred. Shout out to him. He's gonna have him on their show. So shout out to him, and shout out to all you guys who are here. Thank you to everybody who is here. Let me just kind of scroll up a little bit. Shout out to my guy JV who is here. Hey.0, Caden 2K. Who else is in here? Juju in the seat, Abraham. We got so many people in here. I truly appreciate it. Chris, we got Charles in here, backcourt highlights, and I appreciate everybody being here once again. So again, you guys, just going to be a fun show tonight. Maybe we'll go live about an hour. I always say that we're going to go live for like a certain amount of time. We always end up going a lot later. So it's going to be a fun show. He says, we have an expert. I sure ain't one. And I don't blame you, John. I mean, seriously, like you know how it's been the last couple of years, man. James Jones just straight up does not like to draft. He's even literally gone on record. I've made videos about it, and it is what it is, man. So with that being said, everybody, again, it's still draft night. It's still a lot of fun. I think I jinxed the draft. And by that, I mean, I tweeted out a tweet, which we're going to check the polls and everything later, because I did like a poll, like a voting poll for some of these questions. I said, how many trades are we going to get today? Last year we had like 20 or whatever, or I believe it was 20. And this year, even though we've had a few here and there, nothing really blockbuster necessarily. Now, maybe that's just because the new CBA is going to be coming into effect, and teams want to see what the offseason is going to look like. And I can tell teams are playing it safe. That's my only kind of real draft analysis. In my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of teams in this year's draft played it safe. You could have seen a lot of teams package some of these picks and trade for like a veteran or whatever the case may be. But I feel like a lot of teams went with the best overall talent available or the best fit and just played it safe. They said, hey, we got this pick. Screw it. Let's keep it. Let's pick somebody. Or kind of like what we saw, I think it was Washington and Indiana do earlier, just flip picks, like trade for, swap picks and still draft the guy that they want. So that's my only quote, like expert analysis, is that teams played it safe. Yes, you guys. John says the Greek freaks. Is that the official name for you guys? I think somebody in the last live show came up with that, and then so says Jay from the Fanning the Flames podcast tweeted me about that. So, do you guys want to be called the Greek freaks, or do you guys want to be called fellow Suns geeks? Do you want to be called Suns Geeketeers? You guys let me know. With that being said, though, I've already rambled on for 7 minutes, and I haven't even cracked open my beer. It's draft night, baby. We're celebrating. Let's crack open a beer. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat. Even if you're just drinking water, let me know. And with that being said, cheers to the NBA draft. Oh, delicious. For anybody who cares, I honestly just drink just because I like to celebrate things. I like to drink on certain holidays. And let's be real, sometimes you just need a good old-fashioned beer after a long day of work, you know what I mean? Or after a long day during the NBA draft and all that. I had a few cups of coffee earlier. I had some pizza earlier. And I took a power nap. I was able to sneak in like a 30-minute power nap. So Backcourt Highlights says, I already drank my draft day Sprite. I had a Sprite earlier too, man. Sprite is, if you guys know me, in a lot of past live shows, I always used to drink Sprite. So, all right, guys, you aren't here to listen to me ramble on about what I'm drinking, although I am going to take another sip of my beer. Let's talk some NBA news. Now, just so you guys know, I got the phone up. I have the Twitter pulled up on my screen. So if the Suns do make a trade, or if they do finally make their pick, we will be live and we will go straight to that topic. That will be our main focus. But I want to talk some NBA news. And where do I even begin? I had a tweet sort of go, quote, viral earlier, and I honestly just tweeted it out just for fun, but it really wasn't the case. So the Bradley Beal trade is 110% official. And we're gonna go over that real quick. If you guys are looking on the screen right now, this was tweeted out at 2:39 my time. Washington and Phoenix have finalized, so it is official, Washington and Phoenix have finalized the Bradley Beal trade, landing the Wizards 6, count them 6, second-round picks and 4, count them 4, first-round pick swaps. The key word in that is swaps, and we're going to go over that in a minute. Sources tell ESPN. Suns are sending seconds in 2024, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 30. Pick swaps, keyword swaps. I just heard a loud explosion and I'm really scared right now. But anyways, pick swaps in 2024, 26, 28, and 30. It comes from Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. So again, the Bradley Beal trade is official. Now, I don't think that the Suns PR team has posted about it. I don't know. I kind of hope we get like a press conference and everything. I think they're waiting to see what we do in the draft and then like publicly announce it and all that, because I really would like to see a press conference. But the Bradley Beal trade is official. Now, again, the key word in all of that was swaps. So I had a funny little tweet. At least I thought it was funny. I had a funny tweet, and I said, I actually want to go back and actually see what I said. I think I said something like, oh, the Suns traded all the picks. And I was just joking. I was just having some fun on Twitter, and it blew up, which is cool. You know, it is what it is. The tweet sort of blew up. But in reality, I can't actually find the tweet that I tweeted. But what I'm trying to get at here is, in reality, and again, there's a lot of people who are a lot better at covering this stuff than I am. What happened was To my knowledge, now somebody fact check me if I am wrong, because the stuff gets a little confusing. And I mentioned Damon Allred from Bright Side of the Sun earlier on Twitter. He had a couple good tweets which I like here, and we're going to put them on the screen right here. So he tweeted out, let me remind you, anyone who sees the swaps in panic, they especially the first 2 or 3 of them, don't really matter. And even if they do, they don't matter a ton. Then he followed that tweet up later by saying, for right now, as of June 22nd, 2023, for right now until the 2031 draft, yes, we will be in a new decade in 2031. He said, for right now, here's all the Suns have left. Pick number 52, considering we don't trade it. The worst of Washington. It's pretty much all the worst. And I'm sure that Brooklyn, because remember the KD trade and all that is thrown in here. So again, someone correct me if I'm wrong here. I believe we technically have those picks. I could be wrong. And John's saying it right here. The Suns don't control a pick of theirs until I'm 49 years old. So the key word in that is the Suns don't control a pick. So I guess what I'm gathering from all of this is Brooklyn and Washington, if for some reason they like a pick, sorry, I'm just checking my phone to make sure I didn't miss anything. If they like a Suns pick, they can say, yeah, this is ours. Or do they just straight up own it? I don't know. So again, we're going to recap real quick. Here's the details of the finalized Suns Bradley Beal trade. It's on the screen right now. And then Damon Allred had this great tweet over here saying, for now until the 2031 NBA draft, here's all the Suns have left, which is tonight's pick at 52, and then the worst of Washington, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, the Suns have no pick, pretty much. And, this has to be the definition of win now mode. We're going all in. And again, what did I say at the very start of the show, you guys, is James Jones, whether Robert Sarver's the owner, whether Matt Ishbia is the owner, it doesn't matter. I could be the owner. James Jones straight up does not seem like he cares about picks. And I'm not blaming James Jones for that necessarily. I'm just stating a fact that James Jones doesn't care about the draft. So why should I? That's why I'm not necessarily an expert about all these picks and everything. And I believe, I'm just looking at my TV, I believe we're at pick 40 right now. And I think this belongs to the Nuggets. So I'll keep you guys updated once we get closer to 52. We'll start really diving in. That's why we're going to talk about some other NBA related stuff and everything. So yeah, I just lost interest in the draft, to be honest. I think a lot of the excitement, at least for me personally, has just, I don't know. I think it's just because the Suns don't have a lottery pick or even a pick in the 20s to get excited about necessarily. It just is what it is. Now, let's be real, though, you guys. Let's be real. Let's say we kept some of these picks. Are we, unless we draft a recent example, a recency bias example, a Christian Braun, or we strike gold in the second round and get the next Nikola Jokic or Draymond Green, or you guys remember Isaiah Thomas was the 60th pick in the draft. We strike gold with that or something like that. You just never know. I don't know how great the Suns scouting department is. And I think I could be wrong here, but when Monty Williams, or it might have been before Monty Williams got fired, I think the Suns fired a front office person and 2 scouts. I swear to God that was reported, because I think I even talked about that. I'm just reading some of the chat. You guys are funny. So again, I don't know how great the Suns scouting department is. Maybe it will improve over time. Maybe Matt Ishbia will be like, hey, we need to get some great scouts in here, trade for some picks or whatever. or buy some picks because Matt Ishbia seems to have all the money in the world. So I don't know. Hopefully, excuse me. Hopefully, if the Phoenix Suns can nail tonight's pick, then we won't need a draft pick for at least a few more years. That's kind of how I view it. Hopefully tonight, if they keep pick 52, we can strike gold. And again, I got my phone right here. I got everything pulled up just in case the Suns do make a trade. And since we're already past 15 minutes, you guys, I do just want to talk about just real quick the quote latest update on the Suns draft. Because again, we're reacting to this in live time. Now, this does come from John Gambo of Arizona Sports. I think this was tweeted out like over an hour ago. He goes on to tweet, the Phoenix Suns do have the 52nd pick in the draft. What I have heard is they are exploring options to trade the pick for a player or trade up in the second round by using 52 in cash to get a better pick. Well, I'm not saying Gambo's wrong because I like Gambo. I trust him and everything. If I didn't, I don't think I'd be reading his tweet. You know, what pick are we on right now? Like 40-something? The Suns better do something fast. So if Gambo's tweet is accurate, again, this to my knowledge, this is the latest update. Again, I even retweeted it. It seems like the Suns want to either move up or trade for an actual player. Now, this isn't necessarily groundbreaking news because we kind of knew that. And I think there was a lot of speculation about that. Yeah, real quick, John, we definitely are going to talk about CP3 going to the Warriors. I have some optimistic thoughts about that. Real shocker there. I'm an optimist, but yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. But that's sort of the latest update, everybody. The Suns do have pick number 52, and as of right now, unless they for some reason trade up in the next, 10, 20 minutes, seems like they will be picking somebody. We will see. Stephen O kind of helps summarize what we're saying, what I've been saying over here about the pick swaps. Suns still have picks. It'll be the worst of the Suns or Wizards pick. Wizards will be so terrible, the Suns will keep their pick every other year until 2031. I believe that's accurate, Stephen, and thank you for saying that. You know, I was just kind of going off the information that I gathered, with these pick swaps and everything. So that might be an accurate summary of what the Suns have done in this draft. Also, you guys, again, I saw that this was tweeted out earlier, and I sort of pulled up the Woj tweet earlier, but this is like the final details of not just the Bradley Beal trade, but the Kevin Durant trade as well. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns, 3 deep bench players, backup players, Jordan Goodwin. Who else did we get in that trade? It was like TJ Warren and all them. And then who was the other guy? Isaiah Todd, excuse me. Who's sort of a young prospect too. I mean, he was the 2021 draft. He was playing in the G League. And then going out, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps in the first round, and then all the second-round picks. So blockbuster trades in February and this month, you guys. All right. So for right now, we're still going to keep talking about the draft. Well, not really the draft. We're going to talk about a draft day trade that took place earlier. Let me just take a sip of my beer. We're past 20 minutes, you guys. We got about 77 people in here. Crush that like button. Again, we're just going to be reacting in live time to whatever the Suns do with this pick. And then we're going to kind of do like a fun Q&A, talk about whatever, and then we'll probably call it a night. So let me take a sip of my beer, crush that like button, share the show, and cheers. And thank you guys for being with me as well. I know that there's a lot of, great NBA channels and podcasts and Suns podcasts going live, whether it's right now or whatever the case may be. But you guys are joining me, and I do appreciate it. And yeah, John says, credit Dave, former managing editor, Bright Side of the Sun. He was the one that came up with that. Yeah, because I think NBA Central, I believe, tweeted that with that little screen cap and said, credit via Bright Side of the Sun. But speaking of Bright Side of the Sun, you guys go check them out. John and Dave King and everybody else over there, they all do a great job over there. Rod actually reached out to me a couple times. Now, I am far from a writer, and I told him that, but he reached out to me to be part of the Suns. It's like their weekly segment or whatever. I've been on that a couple times. That was a huge honor. And then again, John from the Suns Jam Session podcast, him and Matt have been so kind to me, and I've been on their show multiple times. They've been on my channel. Great guys right there. Shout out to Bright Side of the Sun. Shout out to the Suns Jam Session podcast. So, and again, once we're done with all this NBA talk and everything, once the Suns actually make their pick, go check out the Suns Jam Session podcast because they're going live to recap whatever the heck happens with the Suns draft. So, all right, guys. Let's start with this Chris Paul trade. And yes, Chris Paul was traded. Pretty much it seems that the Wizards pretty much flipped the Chris Paul pick. And I'm actually going to share a tweet real quick. I'll pull it up on my screen here. Chris Paul is being traded to the Golden State Warriors. And you know what? I'm a little bit of an optimist about this. I don't know why, but I am. I'm sharing the image right now. This comes from Bleacher Report. I don't know why I really like this. And yes, there definitely is flaws. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Sorry, there was a tweet under this that was hilarious, by the way. Let me make sure I'm getting all the details right too. I just had it too and I lost it. Well, I forgot who Chris Paul was traded for. Whatever. Either way, Chris Paul's going to the Warriors. I totally blew it with that, by the way. Here's why I like it. Like, and I've talked about this on the show before. Yes, Chris Paul's aging. Yes, Chris Paul is, the contract and everything. Yes, the injuries and all that. I get it. But think about it from a Warriors, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson perspective. Not only are they getting sort of a second coach on the court, but they're getting a guy who can take the pressure off of a Steph Curry and a Klay Thompson in terms of playmaking, taking the ball up the court all the time. And Chris Paul can kind of give you a little bit of that defense. He's obviously not the defender that he once was. Thank you, JS2K, for reminding. Yeah, it was Jordan Poole. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is fried. They traded Chris Paul for Jordan Poole, and I'm sure there was probably some picks in there too. But yeah, Jordan Poole's going to the Washington Wizards, which we'll talk about that later. So they pretty much flipped Chris Paul for Jordan Poole. And again, we're going to talk about it from the Wizards' perspective later. But hold on, I'm just double checking something real quick, you guys. Okay, cool. Anyways, pretty much, you guys, Chris Paul is going to set up Stephen Curry. Think of how potentially dangerous that could be. I think it's awesome. I mean, think about it. Steph Curry is already great at moving without the ball, running off of screens, getting open no matter who's guarding him. And now he's got Chris Paul to set him up. And then Klay Thompson's right there. And who knows what happens with Draymond Green. We'll have to see. And I don't know. I'm staying optimistic about it. I like this move for the Warriors. I like it for Chris Paul. And speaking of Chris Paul, I think I retweeted it as well. Let me just stop sharing my screen real quick. We're actually going to react to Chris Paul's reaction about it. I think I retweeted it. Pretty sure I did. Let me just find it. That's funny. There's some funny stuff that I want to show you guys too. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Did I see it on Instagram? Where was it? Oh, well, it's probably on Instagram or whatever. But Chris Paul pretty much had the same reaction that he did, when he was on Good Morning America and they asked him about the trade. He was like, oh, I was surprised. And I found out on the plane. And he pretty much said the same thing. He just said that he was surprised. And I guess he already did speak to Steph Curry about it. I think it's a good move for the Warriors. That's what I'm getting at here. And again, yeah, there's definitely flaws here. There's the injury concerns and all that. Just double checking my phone so I'm not missing anything. Okay, there's been a few trades, but it's like second round trades, nothing too groundbreaking to my knowledge. But But I'm excited for the Warriors. I will say that. I do want to see just what it looks like on the court. Now, I do believe the Warriors still have a lot of question marks they need to answer. And again, that does start with Draymond Green, who last time I checked, I believe is an unrestricted free agent. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to leave, but he could. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, because this does, involve the Wizards, who again traded us Bradley Beal, got Chris Paul, and then flipped Chris Paul to the Wizards. I kind of like it for the Wizards because they just made a trade, which we can talk about later, the Kristaps Porzingis trade, which I believe that sent Tyus Jones to Washington, who, has always been labeled the best backup point guard in the NBA. And that's probably correct. He's a great point guard. I wouldn't have minded him on the Suns. I don't think we could ever get him, but wouldn't have minded him on the Suns. But so to my knowledge, they now have Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole. They got, even though he had like a terrible rookie season, although he played pretty well at the end of the season, they got Johnny Davis, a few other young guys. I think Daniel Gafford's still with them. They are clearly pointing out the obvious here. Clearly in a, saying a full rebuild is an understatement. And I talked about this a few live shows ago. I went into pretty big detail about it. I said, not only are the Wizards going into full rebuild mode, but they're literally cleaning up, I believe it was Tommy Shepard's mess. This new president of basketball operations, Michael Winger, is overseeing the Washington Mystics and the G League team as well for the Washington and the Wizards and all that. So they're literally tearing everything down, cleaning everything up, and starting fresh. That's why they traded Kristaps Porzingis. That's why they traded Bradley Beal. Kyle Kuzma is an unrestricted free agent. They're going to have a lot of salary cap to play with. I believe they've already made a few draft day trades. I forgot who they drafted. I could probably go to the draft board here in a minute. I'll just go to NBA.com. But, and again, they're just piling up the young guys, and they're cleaning up somebody's mess. And I believe they are anticipating to be bad for at least 4 or 5 years. Let's be real. I want to find that Chris Paul clip. It's nothing really groundbreaking that he said, but I just want to find it. I forgot where I saw it too. Maybe we could react to that. What pick are we on, by the way? Pick 44. So we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. Eventually, the Suns are going to make the pick. I think they probably would have traded it by now, to be honest. I don't know why. Let me just see. Let's see if we can find that Chris Paul clip. Nope. Okay, cool. That's not it. Anyways, whatever. Who cares? Pretty much he said he was surprised. Yeah, like I said, the Wizards are definitely blowing it up. And a Tyus Jones and a Jordan Poole sort of makes like an intriguing backcourt. Again, they're going to be terrible. Let's be real. But eventually they're going to be one of these teams that, in a few years, maybe like 5 years, they're going to be like we're going to be like, oh crap, they've been building up and gathering assets. They might be in the play-in tournament one day, or they might be a playoff team one day. Like we've seen it. Like look at OKC Thunder. They were terrible. They traded for every single pick imaginable. Sam Presti was just loading up on draft picks. They got SGA. They got a few other studs like a Jalen Williams. Chet Holmgren, got injured, but he was the second pick last year. It's like, and without Chet Holmgren, by the way, they almost made the playoffs. So it's like these rebuilding teams will eventually be good. I have a lot of faith in the Detroit Pistons, who, by the way, they've had a pretty good draft night tonight. They have a bright future, and they have salary cap they can play with. The Wizards will definitely have salary cap they can play with, or they can take on some contracts. I anticipate they'll be bad for at least 3 years. It's like these rebuilds take a long time, man. Unless you're like a GM on 2K or whatever, and you know which deals to make and you got all the money, you can rebuild overnight. But it really doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? It takes a long time. Bad example. Look at the Phoenix Suns, man. It took what? Monty Williams got here in 2019. James Jones took over, I believe, in 2018 or 19. And, then we got Chris Paul in 2020. So it takes a couple years. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's just my quick thoughts on the Chris Paul to the Warriors deal for Jordan Poole. My thoughts on the Wizards rebuild. And I don't really have too many thoughts on the Kristaps Porzingis trade to the Celtics. I mean, obviously they're a contender. I think they have some questions to answer. They got rid of Marcus Smart, I believe, and they got rid of who was it, Danilo Gallinari, and I think somebody else. But I do like it for them. I still think they need like a true point guard, though, which is why you're kind of like, oh, I wonder if like a Tyus Jones could have went to the Celtics in that trade. I don't know. We'll see, though. I mean, it's not like the offseason's over tomorrow. It's like they still got free agency. Maybe they can make some trades or something. We will have to see. NBA Day One asks, do the Suns have to make a decision on Ayton by June 28th? Not to my knowledge. It's actually, I was going to say it was going to be Chris Paul they had to make the decision on. I think because there was something with his contract, but obviously that's no longer an issue. But I don't believe they have to make a decision by Ayton. As John says right here, like, nope, Ayton is under contract. Non-contractual decisions need to be made. It's like, that's where I was like, I don't see it either. Like, they're just going to hang on to him, I guess, and we'll just see what happens and maybe trade him during the offseason. Speaking of Deandre Ayton, by the way, I do have to share this. I don't know why Deandre Ayton chose to tweet, or not tweet. He shared this on his Instagram. We all know he doesn't tweet very much, unfortunately. We all know why he doesn't tweet, because Suns Twitter is ruthless. But I do want to share this tweet. Let me just find it. I've been liking tweets, by the way, all night, and I've been tweeting like a madman. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Suns Geek. Just search Suns Geek on Twitter and you'll find me. So let me just share this real quick, everybody. For some reason, Deandre Ayton just decided to share this to his Instagram for whatever reason. By the way, speaking, because we were sort of talking about the Memphis Grizzlies earlier, kind of, because we were talking about how they added Marcus Smart. The Memphis Grizzlies are selecting G.G. Jackson with the 45th pick. And, yeah, that's it. Anyways, so we're getting closer to 52, y'all. But anyways, Deandre Ayton decided to share this on his Instagram. I don't know why I find it funny. I'm going to lower this bar so y'all can see my reaction. Decided to share some kind of promo. I don't know if that's like a clothing company or something or whatever the case may be. He posted that on his IG. And of course, Suns fans found it. And then somebody responded with, "Who invited my man Blood? Bro thinks he's on the team." I'm sorry, you guys, but that's fucking hilarious. I love that so much. So I don't know if Ayton was just promoting something and it came out at the wrong time. I just think this is hilarious. And look, you guys, I have talked so much Deandre Ayton. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know my thoughts. And I feel like I kind of say the same thing every time. Like, I believe in Deandre Ayton, but I'm a very heavy critic of Deandre Ayton. You can tell there clearly is something mentally not there with him. And look, you guys know me. I always keep it very optimistic on this channel. I always keep it optimistic on the Suns, whether it's the worst situation or the best situation. There is a part of me, and I think I talked about this on the Suns Jam Session podcast, there is a part of me that wants to see what Deandre Ayton can do with a full season of KD and now a full season of Bradley Beal plus Devin Booker. And there's a part of me that wants to see what DA can do with Frank Vogel and this new coaching staff, which, by the way, the Suns did announce their full coaching staff for this upcoming season. They posted it on Instagram. They posted it on Twitter. I think we pretty much got a lot of the Lakers 2020 championship guys on our coaching staff, including Kevin Young. So that's solid. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Would it surprise me if Deandre Ayton were traded? Absolutely not. Would it surprise me if he's on the roster this upcoming season? Kinda. Like I said, I give it like a 10% chance he stays, especially since teams have been playing it safe in this draft, and we're probably going to see a whole bunch of activity during free agency and maybe even after free agency. I still give it like a 10% chance Ayton is back. Because clearly, I mean, guys, it's 11 o'clock my time. You know, we're late into the second round. It's like wait a minute. Sorry, I was just checking something. We would have traded Ayton by now if this was going to be a draft day deal. According to Woj, the Rockets are going to be a real threat to sign Brook Lopez away from the Bucks. I want Brook Lopez, man. What are we doing, man? Matt Ishbia, Josh Bartelstein, wherever your name is, James Jones. What the heck are you guys doing, man? Real quick, my thoughts on the Rockets. You know, they hired Ime Udoka as their head coach, which clearly goes to show, even though they could potentially still have a losing season, you know, they're still rebuilding. They've had a pretty damn good draft. I feel like they're another team with a lot of upside, but it's going to take probably a few years. Is Ime Udoka the guy to kind of get them to that next step? It is possible. That's just my quick thoughts on the Rockets, but they'll probably still be bad for a few years. But they got Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Alfred Sengun, who was a really, really talented center. Who they get in the draft? Cam Whitmore and whoever else they drafted, I believe. I forgot who they drafted, but bright future for the Rockets. Let me take a sip of my beer, everybody. We're almost at 40 minutes. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Just sitting and listening to me rant and drink a beer. Cheers. I was checking my phone as I took a sip of that beer. Anyways. All right, guys, more to talk about. We'll probably take some questions while we're waiting for this pick. Let me just make sure I didn't miss. Ooh, this isn't really like news breaking or groundbreaking. I thought it was kind of inspirational, to be honest. So if you guys want like a feel good thing right here, we can talk about this. Then I'll take some questions and comments, and then hopefully, what pick are we on? Pick 47. Hopefully by the time we get through some of these questions and comments, we'll be on pick 52. I found this kind of inspirational, everybody. I think this goes to show that life is bigger than basketball. Shout out to Ish Wainwright, who shared this on his Twitter earlier. Let me just lower this real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I got to burp real quick. Excuse me. So Ish Wainwright shared this. He said, y'all want to see something crazy? You can love me or you can hate me. Nothing was ever given to me. I've worked my butt off. I worked my butt off, then will continue to work. And if you look at the picture closely, it looked like Ish Wainwright used to have a job with Amazon. It looks like that's like a close friend, or I don't know who that guy is, his brother or something. I don't know. But yeah, it looks like he used to work for Amazon, and you can see the difference in his weight and his body and all that. And then you fast forward to I assume this picture was taken recently. Got the nice car in the background, the nice fit, and now he's playing professional basketball for the Phoenix Suns. So shout out to Ish Wainwright, and I even responded to the tweet saying, keep up the great work, Ish Wainwright. Thank you for sharing this. Shameless plug here, everybody. I've obviously have made videos about Ish Wainwright, but I made kind of a full quote story video about him. I talked about his journey throughout his college days, his G League days. I think he played overseas or whatever. And then, when he played college football for Baylor or whatever that was, I made a whole video about that. So if you guys want, just go check that out somewhere on the channel. So shout out to Ish Wainwright, man. Before the Bradley Beal trade, I was sort of, I don't know how to word this. I was doing like a little rundown with my friend Steve about who we would want back. And at the time, I said, I don't know if I want Ish Wainwright back. But now, because we got Bradley Beal and because we got the coaching staff, this was like before Frank Vogel was hired. I think it might have been right as Frank Vogel was hired. I said I wasn't sure if Ish Wainwright should come back, but I think there's a part of me that kind of wants to see him again in this Frank Vogel system. Because again, what are some things that Ish Wainwright is really good at? We all know he's going to bring the hustle. He's going to bring that defensive effort and can occasionally hit the three. Sounds like the Phoenix Suns are going to need a little bit of that. And if I remember correctly, he is on a cheap contract for the Suns. So would you guys want to see Ish Wainwright back? We'll see. All right, guys, get your questions in now while we're waiting for this 52nd pick, which I believe we're still at 47. Get your questions in now or just leave a comment. I'll try to get to all of them. We'll just talk about whatever for a little bit until the Suns make their pick. John says, you bring Ish back because of his contract. Exactly. And that just reminded me, before I get to the questions and comments, yeah, John, I did. That was one thing I talked about in the video that I made about him. He said, did you know that he played tight end in college at Baylor? Yeah, which is awesome. And I think that that's another reason why he sort of, hung on in the NBA and has been in the NBA is because he's literally a football player trapped, or no, he's a basketball player trapped in a football player's body. You guys know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, he did play tight end in college at Baylor. So shout out to him. But anyways, another thing that I was thinking of is, I don't know what we're going to do with this 52nd pick, whether we draft somebody or whether we trade for it, the pick or whatever. I don't see this player who we might draft at 52 really providing huge minutes for the Suns. Again, I keep using this example over and over again, unless it's like a Christian Braun Denver Nuggets situation. You know what I mean? That's like a terrible recent example, but Christian Braun was providing minutes in the NBA Finals as a rookie. But he was like the 21st pick. So whoever we draft, it's probably unlikely that is going to get a boatload of minutes. And I mentioned Jordan Goodwin and I mentioned Isaiah Todd, who Isaiah Todd struggled in the G League. He's got great size. He's still very, very young. So is Jordan Goodwin. Can shoot, hustle, plays hard every night. But like, are these guys really going to be necessarily like contributors? I don't know, man. That's what James Jones, Matt Ishbia, all these guys, the front office guys get paid millions and millions of dollars to figure out, man. All right. Let me take another sip of my beer and we will continue on while we wait for pick number 52. I believe we're at pick 49. So cheers. All right, couple questions here. I want to and I'm not trying to like call out this commenter, and I appreciate you watching, Rams fam, but you're not the only one that's commented this. Cam Johnson back, question mark. You guys, by the way, everybody's fan favorite Amani Bates just got drafted by the Cavaliers. So Amani Bates is not coming to the Phoenix Suns. Before I go on my Cam Johnson rant, let me just share with you this screen right here. I have some NBA media guys like Sham and Woj and all them pulled up here on the tweeters. But yeah, Imani Bates just got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me just refresh that. Wow, this is way behind. Let me just refresh the whole page. But yeah, so no Imani Bates for the Phoenix Suns. So does that mean like Does that mean like the Suns are definitely trading the pick? I mean, all that we really knew about Imani Bates and the Suns connection was that he just worked out for us and that I guess he met Kevin Durant or knew Kevin Durant. I don't know. But yeah, Shams Charania, 54 seconds ago. If you guys can see my screen, I know there's a lot going on. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. The Cleveland Cavaliers are selecting Imani Bates at 49. So no Imani Bates for your Phoenix Suns. Oh, yeah, there's the picture right there. Cards Canyon or whatever on Twitter pulled that up. No Imani Bates for the Phoenix Suns. David Allred just tweeted out, no. That's so good. I love that, man. Yeah, so no Imani Bates for the Phoenix Suns, everybody. Sorry to report that here, but that is just the facts. Again, I'm not a draft expert here. I know very little about this draft class. Sort of why should I too? Like, because the Suns, James Jones and all that. But anyways, let me go on my Cam Johnson rant for a minute here. And listen, you guys. I love Cam Johnson. You guys know how long I've done this YouTube stuff. He's been one of my favorite players I've ever covered on this channel. Like, I love Cam Johnson. He's a great dude. If you guys watch till the very end of my videos, he's in every outro, all my outro videos, because I was at this one Suns event. He was there, and I said, hey, can you shout out Suns Geek on YouTube? And he was like, yeah. He's like, what's up, Suns Geek? You guys have probably seen that in my videos. So here's my Cam Johnson rant, because I see it in the comments in my videos. I see it in the chat. And again, I'm not trying to call anybody out. Everybody has their own opinion. I know you guys all love Cam Johnson. I get it. I love him too, man. And yes, recently, Dwayne Rankin posted it. He was at the game, the Phoenix Mercury game, and Devin Booker was there, and they hugged and all that great feel-good stuff. But you guys, let me tell you right now, it is very unlikely that Cameron Johnson plays for the Phoenix Suns at least for the next few years. It is extremely unlikely. Why? Because, again, as John just said it in the chat, Cam Johnson is too expensive. Complete understatement right there, but you're absolutely 110% right. But two, the Brooklyn Nets don't want to give him up. Yeah, he didn't necessarily break out like Mikal Bridges did, but he was fine for them. It's and I believe, I don't know the Brooklyn Nets salary cap situation. They probably got the money to sign him and bring him back. I'm sure they're going to go to Mikal Bridges, who, by the way, they declined a pick from Portland, apparently. They said, no, we're not trading Mikal Bridges. I believe it was the Portland trade or whatever. I'm sure they're going to go to Mikal Bridges and say, do you want us to keep Cam or what? I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But can he come to the Phoenix Suns after we just traded for Bradley Beal? Hell no. So I'm sorry to be a downer. You guys know I don't like the negative stuff. You guys know I try to keep it positive. I'm just addressing all the comments and the people in the chat that are saying, Cam Johnson, can we swing a Cam Johnson in free agency? Hell no. And again, you guys, this isn't NBA 2K where you can just adjust the settings and be in God mode and sign every great player and have an unlimited salary. It's not how it works, you guys. And again, what I think that's something that people overlook is there's two sides to every trade, signing, all that stuff. Brooklyn's not going to let him go. Even if the Suns had the money for him, which they don't, Brooklyn's not going to let him go. That's my Cam Johnson rant. Sorry for the negativity, everybody. I had to tell y'all how it is. Cam Johnson's not coming to the Phoenix Suns. Speaking of the Brooklyn Nets, the Suns are about to make their pick. The Brooklyn Nets are selecting Jalen Wilson, 51st overall. So the Suns are next, everybody. So I'm going to go back to my little tweet deck here. We're going to refresh the page. The Suns are about to make the pick, I believe, unless it gets traded. And I got my phone right here ready to go so I can react in live time as the Suns, I assume, are going to make their pick Is this going to be, sorry, I'm just lowering some stuff here. Is this going to be the, oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. Is this going to be, what am I even talking about? Is this going to be the last pick for the Phoenix Suns for like years? We will have to see. I'm refreshing Twitter like a madman right now. You guys can see the screen. By the way, follow me on Twitter, y'all. I'm going to refresh this so you guys can see. I know that there's a lot going on the screen, but I got Woj pulled up. I got Shams. I got Jake Fisher, who I've had on the channel before. I got John Gambo from Arizona Sports, Bobby Marks of ESPN, and I got my Twitter on there as well. I'm kind of nervous, you guys. I'm kind of nervous but excited because, like, the Suns are actually going to be drafting somebody, at least we assume, unless they trade this pick. Yeah, as John says, it's their last controlled pick until 2031. Again, key word in that, controlled pick. The Suns don't control their picks for like a freaking million years. Cheers. Thank you for being here, by the way, John. And by the way, you guys, go check out the Bradley Beal shows that me and the Suns Jam Session podcast did. 2 great episodes. Go check it out. As you guys can see, I'm literally, let me just full screen myself real quick. I'm literally refreshing like a madman. So that way we know like when the Suns actually make their pick. This is crazy, man. Like I'm getting flashbacks to when we were in the lottery and everything. You know what I mean? Oh boy. This is gonna be fun, you guys. I'm excited. I'm excited to be live reacting in live time for this. Because as John mentioned earlier, this is the last like controlled pick for the Suns for like a decade. By the way, if you guys have been paying attention to the draft like in full detail, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think won the draft? Especially the first round, because I know Houston had a good draft. There's probably a few other teams like Indiana that I might be forgetting. Obviously, the Spurs won the draft, but like I kind of low-key like the Scoot Henderson and Dame fit, which, by the way, Dame pretty much said, I don't want to be on a rebuilding team. You guys need to make some moves, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But anyways, waiting for pick number 52, y'all. Yeah, Brian says Houston big time. I agree with that. And I sort of went over Houston's future in a short little segment. I think they got a really bright future. They just got to kind of figure it out. They're very raw. We'll have to wait and see what happens with them. What's up, Suns Geek? Late to the combo. Hope the Suns get something great with our only draft pick till Booker retires. Booker's not going to retire in 2031. He's what, 26? I get what you're saying, but Booker's only like what, 26? So Booker would be like what, 31-ish, 32 by that time. All right, you guys, here we go. Let's see. I'm getting nervous. Is this it? Oh, this is Brooklyn's pick, man. I'm literally watching the draft. Well, not really watching. I got it on over here, but they. Oh boy. Suns Geek number 52. Yeah, pick number 50. I got excited for a minute. I was like, "Oh, the Suns picking," but they're not. I'm just reading Twitter, man. Some of y'all are hilarious. Yeah, guys, I'm excited, man. I am. Funny stuff on Twitter, man. I'm sorry, you guys. Brian says, pick a center, Suns. Is there anybody left? That's how much I don't know about this draft. I don't have all the centers, the good centers been picked. And do we even really need a center? Because, again, as of right now, we still have Ayton. I'm assuming Jock Landell's coming back. Maybe Busy. Like, do we really need a center? Like, and I don't know. I'm going to take another sip of my beer before the pick gets made. Quick side note, everybody. Stay tuned for more Suns coverage. You guys know me. If it has to deal with Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. we're going to know a lot leading up to free agency. I'm sure there'll be some moves or whatever the case may be, and definitely on free agency. I'll probably do a live show or whatever. So, again, stay tuned for the Suns content, y'all. And again, I've been live like 4 times, I believe, in the last like week. So go check out those Bradley Beal shows and the Suns news show that I did recently. I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. Just living and kicking says 50-second chug. I'm going to do a big chug before the Suns make their pick. I'm excited. Cheers. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. I'm excited. Phoenix is on the board. Here we go, you guys. And this is Phoenix's actual pick that they are selecting, that they control. I got Twitter pulled up right here. I'm on the full screen right now, but I have TweetDeck. Okay, here it is, you guys. Shams Charania is reporting the Phoenix Suns are selecting some guy who I can't even pronounce his name, 52nd overall. Tumane Camera? Did I say that right? Can you guys see that? I'll just share the screen. I have no clue who he is. Don't know if he's any good. But that is the 52nd overall pick for your Phoenix Suns, everybody. Let me just see. What is going on with my life right now? I'm refreshing the page. You guys can see it. Shams Charania pulls it up right here. Sorry, my internet's running slowly.
From Brussels, Belgium, and
this guy's from Belgium and Dayton. I'm watching it right now, y'all. I don't want to show you guys my screen because I'll get like a copyright claim, but whoa, what's going on here? Wait, I don't know what's going on in my life. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Ooh. But yeah, the Suns made their pick, and I know nothing about this guy. Don't know if he's going to get any minutes. Don't know if he's any good. Okay, so ESPN saying he's got a high motor. Ooh, he just did a nice little windmill dunk on the highlight reel. Looks like he can get to the basket, pick and roll a little bit. Again, I'm just reacting in live time to these highlights. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm getting things set up on my end here. Let me go to Shams' Twitter and pull this up. This is not working. Sorry, guys. One-man show over here. But the guy's actually on the stage, and he put on the Suns draft hat. So it looks like the Suns are probably keeping this pick, man. Let me just share this screen real quick. Don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. But the Phoenix Suns are – I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Can somebody I don't know, man. I don't know. I legit don't know what's going on. I don't think Gambo's tweeted anything out. Let's see what's going on here. Dave King says, calling Damon Allred for real. I have no clue who this guy is, man. So if you're a draft expert and you're watching later or you're watching right now, tell me who this guy is. We'll just Google him. Are you guys cool with that? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Okay. Hold on, guys. My apologies. Please forgive me. One-man show here. Let me just Google this guy. We're going to go to his draft page. Oh, what? Okay, so breaking news, you guys. Nothing really groundbreaking, but breaking news. Shams Charania just tweeted out this pick that the Phoenix Suns selected. Let me share my screen. Is going to Washington. What? What? Look at my screen. What? Are you serious? Someone's saying we get pick 57. Oh, that scared me. Okay. Oh my God. I legit got scared for a minute. I was like, what? Okay, so if you guys are just watching, thank you everybody in the chat for calming me down. This pick's going to Washington. The guy's name that I can't pronounce is going to Washington. We get pick number 57. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive my language. Someone said, what is happening? What a Beal. For real. Like, I don't even know, man. Okay. The Phoenix Suns drafted some guy whose name I can't pronounce because I'm stupid. But this pick is going to Washington. We get pick 57. Someone said we tried saying that earlier. Damn it. That's why I got to read the chat. The Suns select Tumane Camera, and Sham Charania says Camera is going to the Wizards as part of the Bradley Beal trade. I am so confused. Phoenix won't own another second round selection until 2031. Yeah. And as Zona Hoops on Twitter says, now the fun part where Suns fans watch a couple highlights of a player they've never heard and talk themselves into it. That's literally going to be me like all week. Logan says Wizards Geek. For real. I have talked about the Wizards so much over the last like week or so. Like it's, I don't know, you guys. I knew they were going to rebuild. You know what I mean? Like and then Sham Charania just tweets it out right now. Wait, what? What? Oh, okay. Oh my God. Guys. Okay, I'm so confused. Let me just share the screen. Literally, Sham Charania, after just tweeting, wait, what? Okay, you see the screen right here. The pick is going to Washington as the Bradley Beal trade. Then I'll refresh my page. Sham Charania literally just tweeted this out. Clarity here. Camera will be with is it Karma? The pick number 52 will be with the Suns. Phoenix targeted and selected him tonight. The pick was not part of the Bradley Beal trade. Shams, what the fuck is going on, man? Guys, you were literally witnessing this in real time. What? Someone said turn your post noties off for this. Oh my God. Logan says Suns Geek has been traded to Washington also. Oh my God. I don't know if there's many Washington Wizards content creators out there, but I feel like I've talked a lot about the Wizards lately. Wow, man. What the hell, dude? So I guess this is the Suns pick, and I know nothing about this guy. But as Zona Hoops on Twitter said, we're going to do some homework here, everybody. In live time, you guys are going to sit here and you're gonna listen to me talk about this guy. First off, I got to retweet the tweet. Apparently, his Twitter handle is Toom with an M, TOOMAN _ buckets on Twitter. Go follow him. I just followed him. We're gonna literally like react in live time to his like scouting report, if you will. I'm just trying to find the right page. Let's find like a good page. Real GM. Okay, I trust Real GM. Okay, let's just share this page real quick, and then we'll probably take a few more questions, and then we'll probably get out. Of here. So, this is from Real GM. This probably isn't even like the proper like page to go to for like draft stuff, but whatever. So he's from Dayton. Apparently he's from Belgium. His birthday is a few days before mine, May 8th, 2000. He's only 23 years old, 6'8", 220 pounds. Let me just make sure we're not missing anything. Let me scroll down a little bit. NBA, okay. So played a couple years at Georgia, went to Dayton, and last year averaged 13 points, shot 54% from the field, 36% from three. Not really that good of a free throw shooter, although, yeah, I guess 66% isn't very good. Maybe that'll change. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Again, I can't really show you guys the highlights because I'll get copyrighted, but yeah, apparently this guy is on our team. Is he going to make an impact? I have no clue. But this is the guy that we drafted, y'all. Don't know how or why Shams the reporting on this went haywire. I don't know, man. I'm just double checking Twitter to make sure. Again, you guys, you know me. I'll probably do some research on this kid and actually dive into it and let you guys know my thoughts later. But right now, I legit know nothing of this kid. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Someone said, wait, where was it? I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. Did someone say a poor man's Ben Simmons? I mean, if he's a poor man's Ben Simmons, just saying. I mean, Ben Simmons is a good defender. With all the shit that Ben Simmons gets, man, at least he's a good defender. Emmanuel says he's a good defender and an athletic player and a rebounder. Again, you guys, what are some of the things that the Suns need? First off, that they need a lot. They definitely need rebounding for one, because I've been the biggest critic of the Suns rebounding. Two, they need defensive players, especially under a Frank Vogel. And they obviously need at least a little young talent, and they kind of got that with a Jordan not Jordan Crawford, a Jordan what's his name? That one guy that we just got, whose name I can't freaking remember right now. Jordan Goodwin, excuse me, Isaiah Todd, and now adding in this guy whose name I can't even pronounce. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. We'll see. Again, this has just been a live reaction. I probably butchered this reaction, and I probably look like a bumbling idiot right now. I have legit no clue who or what I'm talking about, but we'll see, y'all. I mean, at least James Jones drafted somebody. And again, I will just throw this out there. He's 6'8", 220. We don't need any guards, clearly. So, Vision Plasma says, so our young guys currently consist of Goodwin, Todd, Tuname, and potentially Bays and Jock if we bring them back. Real quick. Wait, what? Okay, sorry. Not Suns related, but sort of. The Warriors are trading Patrick Baldwin Jr. to the Wizards as part of the Chris Paul Jordan Poole trade, sources said. Anyways, Chance Burke says, you're the Suns geek. You're all right. We understand. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Anyways, ESPN was out here saying he was going to the Wizards casual for real. Like what happened there, man? What went wrong there? That was weird, man. Anyways, what was I trying to say? Okay, yeah, Vision Plasma's comment here. So our young guys currently consist of Goodwin, Todd, Tumane, is that how you say it? And potentially Bays and Jock. Let me just quickly talk about Darius Bazley. Now, I didn't listen to the full podcast yet. Excuse me. I could be wrong here, but I think John Gambo of Arizona Sports was on with Hoops Hype. And I think he said that the Suns may not bring back Darius Bazley. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what John Gambo of Arizona Sports said. But it's kind of weird, though, because Darius Bazley's under contract, I believe, for a couple more years. has the size, has the potential, but like at the same time when he played, he didn't really do much on the exception of that last game of the season. But everybody looks good the last game of the season. So I don't know. Also, real quick, just to answer a question from Chuckster, it's possible that CP3 can rejoin the Suns if the Wizards waive him to extend Draymond Green. That sort of goes to my Cam Johnson rant that I went on earlier. I doubt it because I don't think the CBA and I don't think even the NBA would allow this. I think that that's just not financially possible, if that makes sense. So, unfortunately, as of right now, I don't think that this is possible for Chris Paul to rejoin the Suns. And again, I talked about the potential of Steph Curry, Chris Paul backcourt and why it might be good. All right, everybody, here's what we're going to do. Because the Suns have made their pick. I reacted to it in live time. I'll take a few questions and comments, and I'm going to get out of here and enjoy the rest of my night. I've seen the original Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I think came out in like 2011 with James Franco. But just last night, for the first time, I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Shout out to my brother who let me borrow this. Great film, by the way. And tonight I want to watch War of the Planet of the Apes. Really excited to do that. But anyways, so we're going to take a few questions. Then I'm going to get out of here, finish my beer, enjoy the rest of my night. And then tomorrow, when I'm refreshed, I'll do a little bit of homework, watch a little bit of film, and maybe I'll make a video or like a live show talking all about our pick that we got. We'll see. People are saying that he's a good player. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of like I said earlier, you guys, even if he is a good player, I don't know if he's even going to play, man. He'll be great during practice and stuff, and sure, he might get like some garbage minutes, but I don't know, man. Let me take another sip of my beer. We'll keep talking. All right, guys, get your questions in now. Get your comments in now, and we'll go on from there. Let me just check. Marcus, I see your question, but my brain is fried. I can't even answer that right now. To answer your question, probably, but I have no clue who. Tristan says, do you think DA starts playing better under the new coaching staff? I sort of talked about this earlier. And I pretty much said there's a big part of me that hopes Deandre Ayton not only plays better on the court, but is mentally better. Because clearly you can just tell there's some kind of mental thing with Ayton. But there also was that report, and I slightly touched on it last live show, that I guess a report came out that Monty Williams pretty much said he didn't like coaching Ayton. He didn't like coaching Jay Crowder. We've talked all about that in depth. I slightly touched on it last live show. So this is a good question here from Tristan. It is possible. And that's why I said, like, I hope that DeAndre Ayton sort of has like a quote breakout year under Frank Vogel and the new coaching staff. Because let's be real, you guys, like if you've ever had a job or if you're still like a younger person and you're in high school, like you get a new teacher, you get like a new manager or whatever the case may be, you get a new voice, it really does kind of have an impact. Like being real with you guys, like you guys know me, like I have a job outside of this YouTube stuff. I've had different bosses and managers and voices. Like it's a real thing. So to answer Tristan's question, do you think DA starts playing better under the new coaching staff? Fingers crossed, y'all. I really hope so. Let me just check something on Twitter real quick. And again, you guys, I'm sorry if I butchered our new draft picks name. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I'll learn that by tomorrow. Let me just double check something. NBA Twitter. Where's the pick? Okay, I thought that there would be a picture. Have the Phoenix Suns even like tweeted anything about this pick? Okay. Real quick, by the way, just a random thought. I know our conversation's like jumping all over the place. A low key. Okay, you guys know like Flex from Jersey's my guy. I've had him on the channel and everything. A low key, it could be a coincidence too, but I'm being serious here. Like I've interacted with him on Twitter. He's a funny guy. Sometimes he tweets crazy things, but a low-key quote source. I know everybody nowadays has sources, but I'm serious. A low-key source here is Exen Verloc on Twitter, who, by the way, he's a funny engagement on Twitter. And I'm going to share this recent tweet right here. He was kind of right. I just got to say, he was kind of right. Now, maybe it's coincidental. I can't talk. Let me just share the screen real quick. How do I do this? What is going on in my life? Thank you guys for putting up with my what is going on right here? Share. No. Wait. Stop sharing. Share. Share screen. Come on, StreamYard. Work with me here. Here we go. Sorry, guys. One-man show here. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm stupid. Okay, here we go. So he tweeted this out earlier. I'm just so confused on what's going on. So he tweeted out, this was Gerald Bourguet tweeting out something, talks about the details of the pick that we just got. And then he said, Suns are staying at pick number 52 tonight per sources. No trading up or trading out of the draft. And earlier this morning, he said, I'm quadrupling down. Deandre Ayton is not getting traded today. He's not getting traded by July 4th. He will be on the Suns roster through December 31st, 2023. Exen could be, it could be BS. It could just be a coincidence. Maybe he's just good at predictions. But as Tristan says here, these things take time. Dude, I was literally not really arguing, but sort of debating with somebody on Twitter about these deals take time, because Flex had like a tweet where he was like, it was like an F bomb, like the GIF F bomb. And somebody was like, oh, you didn't have to tweet that out and lead us all. It was something like that. And I was like, dude, I pretty much said these things take time. And I was like, I don't even know where I'm going with that, but I agree. These things take time. People just need to be patient. It's a long off season. Vision Plasma says Exen low-key funny. He really is, man. Like he's a fun follow on Twitter. Like go follow him, man. I've interacted with him before. He's a fun follow, man. Logan says that's a wrap. Go Suns. Thank you, Logan, for being here. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, man, I'll take your guys' questions and comments. We'll go for maybe like 5, maybe max 10 minutes more, but I think that's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just think, maybe this guy can play, maybe he can't. We'll see. I think something that might be getting overlooked here is that the Suns do have young talent. It's just not the quality as of right now that a lot of Suns fans want it to be. What's been one main topic I've been talking about all live show? First off, JS2K says 100 people watching. Guys, I truly appreciate it. You're literally listening to me ramble on. drinking a beer, giving my honest thoughts about the NBA and the Suns. But my point being, what's been one, and I do appreciate it. Honestly, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. But what's one thing I've been talking about a lot during this draft is teams with bright futures. So what I'm trying to say here is the Suns have young talent. It's just not the quality of other teams, but that's not, I mean, I guess it is the Suns' fault, but if it was the Suns' fault, they'd be in the lottery. The Suns are in win now mode. Matt Ishbia, Josh Bartelstein, James Jones, the Suns front office truly believe that Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and whoever we have on the roster, DeAndre Ayton maybe, campaign, can win us a championship. So let me just double check I'm not missing anything here. Oh, yeah. Good reminder here from Shams and Woj. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of two-way contracts get signed, because the 76ers just signed somebody on a two-way. That usually happens after the draft, especially in a year when two of these picks were when two of these picks were taken away from the league because of like tampering and all that. So just saying, where was I going with all this? What was I trying to say? What I was trying to say was the Suns have young talent. It's just not the quality that most young teams have, because the Suns are in win now mode and they're trying to win a championship. Let me just share one more tweet, y'all. Then I'll get to your guys' comments and questions. Then we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up at an hour 30. How about that? So about 8 more minutes. So Dayton's basketball Twitter account just tweeted this out. Let me just lower this. Tamari, I can't even say his name. Kamara, however you pronounce his name, is headed to the desert, built at Dayton. And again, go follow him on Twitter, y'all. Too Many Buckets, TOO, many_buckets on Twitter. Go follow him. Is headed to the Valley. I wish we could watch some highlights, y'all, but just I don't want to get copyrighted and all that. You guys know how it is. So just wanted to share that tweet real quick. So get your guys' comments, questions in. We can honestly talk about whatever at this point, and then we'll call it a day. It's been a long show. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Can't wait for the open practice. Also, I saw somebody ask, when does Summer League start? I believe Summer League is July 7th through the 17th. I was going to go, but like financially, let's just say I was irresponsible with my money. Let's just say that. So I'm unfortunately not going to go this year unless I like strike rich tomorrow. Chance says Fred VanVleet would be a good backup. I think I don't know. The Raptors are in such a weird situation. I can't really see a financial situation, if you will. I can't see how it would work financially with Fred VanVleet. I can't see it. Don't be so okay. Here's my opinion on the Raptors. Don't be surprised if the Raptors blow it up, but don't be surprised if the Raptors do a very strong retool. You know what I mean by that? Like, they're not necessarily going to blow it up, but they're probably going to trade a Pascal Siakam. They're probably going to. It seems like OG Anunoby's always in trade rumors. So I don't know, man. I think Fred VanVleet's way too expensive. Rishi, you're a real one, man. He says, someone super chat him into the Summer League for real, man. Like, if plane tickets weren't so damn expensive, I would be at Summer League and I'd be filming vlogs and doing live shows and all that. But anyways, Love your content, bro. Appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, you guys have been listening to me rant for like an hour and a half over some guy that I have no clue even how to pronounce his name. And I feel bad as like a Suns content creator, whatever you guys want to call me, to not even know this dude's name, but it's true. You guys know me. I can't read names or shit. Excuse my language. So get your questions, comments in now, you guys. We'll go for like another 5 more minutes and we'll call it a day. Let me see. Draymond and Durant don't get along. So the Draymond stuff. It's not impossible because I believe he is a free agent, but I give it maybe a 30% chance Draymond Green comes to the Suns, maybe a 40. I just don't know. Especially with the CP3 trade to the Warriors. I mean, maybe Draymond sticks around because of that. Maybe he tests the market a little bit. Would Draymond even be a great fit, with a KD, with a Beal, with a Booker? I mean, could we use more defense? Could we use somebody with championship experience? Could we use like a dog? Because whether you love or hate Draymond Green, he is a dog and he will bark at players and give you that effort and energy. But I don't know, man. Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Chase says, "Oop, why isn't that working? Wait, what's going on here?" Sorry, guys. I'm having like a brain freeze. Sorry. Chase says, "Do you think we can get Brook Lopez?" Yes, but first off, would I want Brook Lopez? Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Anyways, okay. Would I want Brook Lopez? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Are the Bucks going to keep him? Maybe. That's again something that might get overlooked. But is he a free agent? I think he is. Chris Haynes said, Damian Lillard has not had any recent communication with the Portland Trailblazers involving the draft, free agency, or his future, league sources tell Bleacher Report. What? Wasn't there a report earlier that said Dame? What? I'm so confused, y'all. I don't know who to believe anymore. I want to hear from you guys. I legit want to hear from you guys. Who do you trust in terms of like quote sources? Do you guys trust Woj? Do you guys trust Shams? Do you guys trust Jake Fisher? Do you trust Flex? Do you trust, I don't know, Chris Haynes or Mark Stein? Like, I don't know, man. First off, James Johnson, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I think Golden State will flip Chris Paul at the trade deadline. D'Lo Part 2. That is a possibility, James. Yeah. I'll just say this. It's a possibility because, one, we don't even know if Curry and Paul are going to work. And that could be, I talked about the positive stuff about it. Sorry, I'm just double checking something. I talked about the positives with Curry and Paul, but there could be a lot of bad that could come out of that. So thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, y'all. The NBA is crazy. I love the league. I love all the circus that we get, especially on a night like this. I love all the trades and the signings and the rumors. Like, I love basketball. And I've seen a few people talk about this. It just sucks that like the season is like still 4 months away. Like, we got summer league next. We got I think there's like an Olympics or whatever this offseason, which Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are a part of, by the way. And then we got like training camp, but still 4 months, y'all. I just wish the season would start tomorrow, you know. So, all right, everybody. I've gone nearly 2 minutes over than I thought. Just been rambling on for the last like hour, or really 30 minutes. Sorry if I didn't get to your question. Shameless plug here, y'all. If you guys want to, ask me a question, DM me or tweet me. I'll do my best to answer it. Or maybe I'll do a live show tomorrow or the next day, and I'll try to answer it there. Real quick, everybody, just so you know, Clutch Talk Podcast invited me on their show. I think I'm going to be on with them Saturday. I don't know if it's going to be out Saturday, but we're going to talk about the Suns off season. So stay tuned for that. Again, maybe tomorrow I'll probably want to go live or the next day. So stay tuned for more Suns content. But yeah, the Phoenix Suns have a pick. They actually drafted somebody, the last controlled pick for the next 6 years, whatever it is. But guys, I'll just say this too: anything could happen still. Maybe a Deandre Ayton trade brings back a few picks in the future. Oops, I hit my mic. We will see, y'all. The off season is not over, guys. We have 6 more days until teams can actually start negotiating with players. We got free agency. Maybe there's some kind of a trade. Just stay, follow the sources who you want to follow, and we'll see. It's a long off season. I trust Matt Ishbia, our Suns owner. I trust Josh Bartelstein and James Jones and our front office. I'm not saying I agree with every move they do. I'm not saying Bradley Beal is the answer to a championship, but I'm trying to stay positive, man. Like I just, like I've said, you guys, win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life, y'all. So, last comment here. We need another 6 guys on the roster. Yep, we still got a lot of construction that we need to do. Got guys we need to sign and trade for. So, all right, y'all. I'm out of here. Real quick, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. What does Shams say? Check Shams out. What did I miss from Shams? Well, another guy's name from Arizona who I can't pronounce signed a 2-way with the 76ers. So, yeah, just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Crazy night, crazy day. Excited for the Phoenix Suns' future. I'm excited for the offseason. I'm excited for free agency. And you guys know me. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. I will always be here for you guys. Win or lose, I will always pump out the best Phoenix Suns content that I absolutely can. Again, one-man show here. You guys were clearly a witness to that tonight. One-man show here. And again, if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to chug this little bit of beer that I have left while I'm live on the show, and then we'll end the show. But seriously, you guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for watching me. You guys are all amazing. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Crush that like button. Share the show. Stay tuned. Heck, I might be live tomorrow, or I might be live Friday. We will see. Or not Friday, Saturday. We will see. So, yeah, I love you guys. I'm going to chug this beer and then end the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. If it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. And as always, go Suns. Woo! All right, guys, enjoy this outro. God bless you guys. I love y'all. Peace.